think I'll start. Wait a minute. And should I start recording the session, or Alapan, you are doing it?
No, I'm recording the session.
Okay. So I think I will start from here. So, hello everyone. Welcome to the Flutter workshop. I don't know that if you like, in just in case if you don't know me, hello, I'm Priyanshu Naskar. I am a third year information technology student from this college, or like from your college only, and I mainly work as a front end developer in Flutter. Like those who don't know Flutter, what is Flutter, that's not an issue. Those who don't know, those don't who don't know Dart or any specific programming language, that is not an issue. We'll be going through the basics, and yeah, let's just start right away. So for the like for those people who don't know Flutter, or like who have never even heard what is like heard this specific word called Flutter, let me just introduce to you with with the tech. So Flutter is an open source framework which is built by Google to create a beautiful natively compiled multi-platform applications from a single code base. So this is basically a standard development kit to compile multi-platform applications from a single code base. Like the 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 main topic here is multi-platform. What do we understand by like multi-platform? Can anyone tell me? Like, is there anyone like who would like to tell me what does multi-platform mean?
Like first and second years like can try what do you think like multi-platform does mean or something like that.
Mobile, desktop, or switching between operating
Yeah.
systems.
Yeah. So basically, we have like different Android OS and desktop. So these are different like platforms that we have. The question is like why we even why is Flutter that important, or why is Google like pushing Flutter? So that like we will come to that question, but like can like since like we are talking about like multi-platform or like multi-platform applications, I know that are not a lot of people know what Flutter is, but like can anyone like take even a guess that how many platforms like Flutter can support? Just take a guess. Maybe three or four, any number, or like just tell me that how many platforms are there, or like how many platforms can you think of? Anyone?
I think three, and some of them are saying five or six.
Five or six? Okay. So can anyone like unmute themselves and like uh count them? Like, okay. So so let's just come to this question, like how many platforms does Flutter support? So inherently Flutter can support up to 7 platforms. Like first is Android, second is iOS, then there are web apps, Windows, Mac OS, Linux, and embedded devices also. Embedded devices support has come into like in recent times, like it has been like 1 year, I think, with embedded devices support. So just think about it. You just have to write the code once. You have to maintain the code once, and all of these listed platforms we can run our applications on these many listed applications. Just think about it. Most of the companies, like most of the big tech companies, or like earlier, what we had to do is like we had to make each and every application for a different platform, and there we had to make another application for Android, then another application for iOS. But now there are a lot of like cross platform, like standard development kits, or like Flutter, there's Flutter, then there is React Native, like which can support the multi bridging between the multi platforms. So just think about it: 7 platforms and one code base. Why why should you Flutter? So very simple. For like we write and we and run like any of the supported platforms, which is 7. And for all of the platforms, the code has to be updated only once. We don't have to update the code for each and every platform. And there is inherent support of Google's very own Material 3 design and Apple's Cupertino design patterns. Like for Google's very own apps, there is inherent support of Material 3 design, which you can which you are using in your Android phones right now. If you have like Android 12 and yeah, if you have like Android 12 and above, uh, above versions like 12, 13, or 14, if you have the beta version of 14. And there's like Apple's Cupertino's like inherent support of Apple's Cupertino design patterns, which is Apple's very own design, which they use on their phones. So, and it is like very performant by design, and as of now it is still not comparable to native native device performance, like for like Kotlin, or like for like JavaScript for web, or like Swift, Objective C, or Swift for iPhones. But it is very close. So now the question is like, how popular is Flutter? Like, since this is a very new thing, like how popular is it? So for your I don't know how many how many apps have you do you know from this, like how many apps do you know from this list? But one of the most popular apps which I can take a guess that you know is, first of all, that is Google Classroom. Google Classroom is made in Flutter. Google Pay is made in Flutter. Like both of these Google apps are made in Flutter, and like there are like more and more coming apps, or like Google projects, which will be made in Flutter. Then there is PUBG Mobile. PUBG Mobile is made in Flutter. The gaming part is of course made in Unity, but the rest of the UI part, which is integrated with the game, is made in Flutter. The Tencent app, which I don't think that you have, like anyone of us have using. Uh, it is mainly, I think, available in China and like other countries. Tencent app is basically like a network of gamers who use PUBG. So Tencent app is made in Flutter. eBay is made in Flutter, and Dream11. I think most of us have heard about it. Dream11, like most of the Apple ads are like based on them only. So Dream11 is made in Flutter, and BMW car app, like which is basically an extension of like basically user sign up. Like what they can do is like car, or like gates, lock or unlock the car. That is made. And another, the last one is also available in India. I don't know how many of you have been using this app, but Philips Hue is also made in Flutter. So I think let's just get started with the code, and I think I will switch to my VS Code. Uh, I will switch my tab. If there are any questions or anything like that, you can like it's you can ask.
No, he is not sharing his screen actually.
Yeah, I'm not sharing the screen right now. Like I just closed my presentation. I'm opening my VS Code. I'm actually having some trouble with my internet connection. Okay, can you see my screen, the screen of my VS Code?
Actually, we see a black screen.
Okay, now
Uh, I cannot see. Please, others tell whether you can see or not.
okay. I will start sharing my entire screen only. Okay, now can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so I don't think I will be taking you through the installation process of Flutter. I don't think that is necessary out here. Like there are a lot of tutorials online where you can install Flutter and like get started with it. But I think what you should what we should first learn is like how does Flutter works, or like the Dart language basically. So I'm just gonna start by creating a new project. So I will so supported by like not an overlay. This is basically a key combination which is supported by the Flutter extension out here. I'm gonna show the Flutter extension if I can. So yeah. So once you install Flutter on your laptop or your PCs, you are gonna have to install this Flutter extension, or they'll give the support of key combinations like this, which you can which new project or like uh, 4 or 5 options. This extension which is made by Dart code, or like the official people who made Flutter, this is enabled by them only. So I'm going to start by making a new project. The key combination on my laptop is control plus shift plus P. I'm going to start by making a new project. I'm going to click on this, and then I'm going to click on an empty project. Okay, so let's just do this. I'm gonna select my folder, and then I'm just gonna name my application like, or like let's just do Flutter demo. So let it create the app. Okay, so here is a basic application which is given by Flutter. Basic application which does nothing as of now. And let me just connect my phone, and let me present my phone also, so that you all can see the changes on the phone. Or let's just explain the code first. Okay, so I think what I should do is let's just remove all of this, and start from and start from the basics, so that everybody can know that what each and every line means. Okay, so like for any coding language, or like for any programming language, what the basic block of any programming language is the main function. Okay, so let's just start by writing main function. Here we just do this, like void main. Here we don't have to return any kind of integer or anything like that. We can just return main, like because since like Dart is a very advanced language, just like Python or like just like Kotlin, we don't we don't have to return anything from main, because main is used to run any like to run at first. That is why. So here I'm getting a suggestion to do this, but I'm not gonna do that. I mean, to co- I mean, IntelliSense is giving me an option to to paste some pre-written code, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna do this like very plain and simple, and like just a main function. And I first at first what I'm gonna do is uh, I think what I can do is like start by printing stuff. So for Dart, the statement is like anything like any programming language, the statement is print. And then I'm gonna and like just like C, ends with a semicolon. In it can like any whatever we want to print. But for this, I'm gonna just print hello world, and then I'm gonna run from here. We don't even have to look at our phones, or like if like the compiler like gives us an error, or like because this application basically requires an application. So let's just see that what does compiler, or like what does the dart like what does the dart compiler tells us. If they require an application, let's like we will be making an application and then printing it. But I just wanted you to like just know that how does print works. Let's just see what happens. Okay, APK is built. Okay, I think it does requires us to make an application. Let's just stop it right here, and let's make an application first, and then we will explain you the syntax. So for running an application in Dart, what we just have to write is run app, and then we have to pass in the application we want to run in here. So right now there is nothing else in this code. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna make a stateless widget, like just like all of this code which I'm using right now is possible due to the extension that the Flutter team has recommended to use. So I'm just gonna write stateless widget. Okay, stateless widget, and I'm gonna name this my app. So okay, and then here I am gonna return I'm gonna return material app, and here I'm gonna do my app. So I'm not gonna add any of the const right now, like just because I don't wanna like explain to you right to that like why I'm adding const right now. Once you get like once you know what Flutter does, like then you can know that what like why are we adding const and like all of this. So first of all, like what did I do here? I added. Okay, so this is normally a this what it is doing is just function which is taking a parameter called my app, and my app here is a class which is gonna run our application which returns material app. Okay, so material app is basically the Android's design language, which is the material app. And for the app for the Apple iOS, what we can return here is Cupertino app, I think. Yes, Cupertino app. So if we like it's just that simple. For like if we are running if we are planning to run the app on iOS, we can just write here Cupertino app. And if we are planning to run on Android, we can just write here material app. And here it and then here in this class it extends stateless. Okay, so stateless comes from a word called state. So can anybody tell me like what like in English, Hindi or Bangla, what is state, or like what do you understand by state? Like we have always heard about states of matter, or like state of mind, or like stuff like that. What is state? Can anyone please tell me?
The form of something.
Form of something, right? So here, so like the stateless here means that for any app, what the things the app one like the things a screen of an app renders. Okay, so it may or may not change. Basically the state of an app may or may not change. I will explain this by an by a very simple a very simple example. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to make a very simple counter app. Okay, so let's just we don't have to get into like what get into the very details, but what I'm trying to explain is what is stateless and what is stateful in Flutter. Okay, so primary swatch. Okay, colors dot purple and use material 3. So for this line, I think this line is very very simple. Use material 3. Okay, so material, as the line suggests, material 3 design. Material 3 is the latest design pattern of Android, which is very beautiful, and of course this is supported in Flutter because this is Google's tech. So use material 3. Just making it true will implement material design in our app. Okay, and then what we can do is, since this is okay, I think can do is I can create a home for this app. Okay, so like basically creating a home for any app is like where like okay, so I have made an app, but what is the first screen or what is the home screen of this app? Okay, so for that I'm gonna create another file here, which is called home screen dot. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to use stateless. I'm going to explain what stateless is. I'm going to name it home screen, and I'm going to import all the packages. So here I have to, for using stateless, I can either import Cupertino or material depending on what platform we are using. Okay, so if we are using iOS, we can we can import Cupertino, or if you're on Android, we can just import material. And then I'm gonna return scaffold here, and I'm gonna get into the body. So scaffold is a class. Scaffold is basically the screen of the app, and the body means like what is the body of this scaffold. There's another similar thing called app bar. So app bar defines like what is the like how is the app bar gonna look. Okay, so I'm not gonna get into app bar as of now. I'm just gonna tell you the body. And okay, so let's just write any text. So I'm just gonna write this. Okay, and ignore all of this, all of the jargon, telling whatever is coming up right here. And I'm gonna I'm just gonna tell my material app to go to tell my material app to go on this home screen whenever the app launches. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is just write the class name in this line, so that the app knows that where to go whenever the app launches. So I'm just gonna write home screen. That's it. Okay, so now I think we are ready to launch our app. So let's just start. So since the app is running for the first time, and there's a lot of things to compile, I think it is going to take some time. Okay, it just compiled. As you can see our app, I don't know if you can see it properly. Hello world, as you can see, the app is being compiled. As the console also shows that we are connecting to the V. So the app has been compiled, and as I told you, the material app, we have to provide a home for this app, material app. The home is home screen, and when we go into this home screen, we wrote body text, body as hello world, right? So here is hello world. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it is hiding behind the app bar, or basically the OS's overlay. Can anybody see it? Like, is anybody having any
Yes,
issues
yes,
watching it?
at the
Okay.
top.
Yes. So hello world is behind the app, like basically the OSS overlay. Like uh, so since what all of you have to know is basically that Flutter is a declarative UI type development kit. Okay, so all of the things that we are writing here are declarative UI. Whatever you write in this build function is gonna be reflected on the app. Okay, so what to just to bring this hello world in, like, to the center of the app. I just have to do one thing. I'm just gonna write, like, I'm gonna copy this, right center. Basically, I'm just telling the body, I'm just telling the body of the scaffold to whatever we have on the body, it should be centered. Okay, so center is also a widget. Let's not get into what a widget is. Okay, I'm gonna say that center's child is a text. Okay, and text and is it, yeah, a text, and the text should display hello world. So this is how Flutter works. Okay, I'm just gonna hit control and save in here, and it is in center. Okay, so whatever we write here, it is declarative UI. Okay, whatever we write in the build function is gonna be reflected on the screen, and it is just that easy. If we want to make any changes, if we want to make any changes, we can just wrap this text widget with, and like this text thing with any other widget, and like it will be reflected on the screen. It is that easy. We don't really have to edit any other XML files or like any CSS files. We don't have to do any of that. Okay, now coming back to the question, like, what is statelessness? Okay, so as you can see here, the hello world, this hello world text is being, so of any basically when screen of the app changes, when not change. Now one thing, like this like have you seen any app whose basic screen, like maybe there's a list on the screen which changes on the app, but like the basic screen which displays the data, does that change? The white background stays put there, right?
Yeah, like the Amazon app.
Yes, like just like the Amazon app, like the white background is always there. Just the data, or like not even the data, like small buttons here and there, like those buttons are always changing. But the white background, or like the app bar also, like I can, like, let's just put an app bar here. As I told you, everything here is declarative. I can just write app bar here, and then like app bar, and then I'm just gonna do this. App bar is a widget which has to be provided to this app bar, to this app bar parameter. So if I write here like title, so app bar is basically a class which takes, as you can see, this is basically class which takes the, where is this? Okay, uh, yeah, app is basically class which takes a widget called title. Okay, we can just like tell this class that, okay, just display this text, and I can write app bar here, and like it is that easy. And then I'm gonna hit control save, and I think it should be, yeah, here it is. Okay, and like what I can do is elevation 5. Okay, elevation 5. So this is how Flutter works. Okay, so everything here is declarative. And like now just tell me one thing. Okay, like have like Alapan just gave an example of Amazon. How many apps have you seen whose app bar changes with 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 like changing screens? I think most of the apps out there, like the app bar always stays same. Most of the apps. There are of course like some of the apps where the app bar changes, but most of the apps, the app bar stays same, right?
Yes.
Yes. So since like so basically what I'm trying to say is, since the app bar stays the same for most of the screens, the state of the app bar is not changing. We don't need to, like, the app bar stays put there. I don't need to change the state of the app, or the state of the app bar. That is what I'm trying to say. Okay. But for things like, there might be some of the parts of the app where the state of the widgets, or like state of the components of the app are changing. I'm going to show that right here. I hope that I'm not running out of time. Chayan, Alapan,
No, no, we have time.
we have time, right? Okay. So I'm gonna try to implement it as soon as possible. Okay. So I'm gonna give you an example where the state of an app is actually changing. Okay. So I hope that everybody understood that what stateless widget means, or like what statelessness means. If anybody has any questions regarding that, like, please come forward, and like, please, you're free to ask questions. Is there anybody? Okay. So I don't think anyone has any questions. So what I'm gonna do here is, I'm gonna implement an example which is actually changing states. Okay. So let's just do one thing here. I'm gonna change. Okay. So I'm gonna make it a column. Okay. So column, I think anyone who has used HTML will know what a column is. I'm gonna define its children by writing this syntax:
I
children.
guess there is a question from Orko
Okay.
Brother.
Okay.
He says that a stateless widget means that whatever wishes we implement, that will be static on that home page.
Yes, that will be static. That won't change during the life cycle of an app. Now, what do I mean by the life cycle of an app? Just just imagine that you open an app. Okay, you do, like, let's say that you have opened WhatsApp. Okay, you have opened WhatsApp. You are chatting with any of your friend. Okay, and then you close the app. So that is the life cycle of an app. Like, you opened it, you like performed some function, and then you close the app. Okay. So there are a few components of the app which are changing, like keyboard or like the text field. Those things are changing, so those things are stateful. And there are some components of the app, just like the app bar. Okay. So app bar, there's only WhatsApp written, and like there's like some menu buttons. That is not changing at all. Okay. That is static. I hope I'm able to like convey myself here. Think
Someone
there.
says,
Okay.
Riyanka says that why
Okay.
we use the elevation 5 at the time we write that app bar. Like
Okay.
why 5?
Let's just remove the 5 here. Okay. And then let's reload the app. So just reloading the app, it's like just hitting control plus save, and just that. Okay. So by writing elevation, like as you can see, I have like deleted elevation from here, and there is app bar, but I can't really see here. Okay. It's like invisible to me right now. Elevation is basically when you see an app, and like there's app bar, it is mixed with the body because it's like at the same level. Okay. And when you elevate one card, it's like the app bar like comes forward, like with some percentage, which is, or by some number, so that you can see it. Like, comes forward, I don't think like that will be a great word for it, but I hope that I'm able to explain it. Like,
It will
if
be
there are
distinguishable
questions.
from the
Yeah, it
body.
will be distinguishable. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that right now, like, if you just think about, you are looking at the side view of the screen. Okay. So app bar is right now at the same level with the body. When you give this elevation to the app bar, the app bar rises slightly. above the body so that it is distinguishable. Like rises, I mean, okay, rises I don't think will be a good word to
I
describe
mean,
it,
like
but
it's look kind of a 3D kind of.
yeah, basically 3D. Okay, so if I write elevation here and then like let's just give 10, so 10 is basically the level of which the elevation I want. So as you can see, the like elevation matlab, like the elevation which like elevation just deepens or like just brings the app bar forward. Or like if I make it 5, it's like like I don't know if you can see the difference on your screens, but because of the quality of the stream, but like the color or like the color of the app bar has now faded in comparison to the elevation level of 10. Okay, is there any question?
We have another question.
Okay.
Orco says, if we want to make the widget non-static, is the widget will
Okay.
include in the stateless widget list, like in the function
No,
he meant?
no, no. So I don't know, like if I got your question, like can you just read the question again?
Sure, sure. Orco says that if I want to make the widgets non-static, then is the widget will
Okay.
not included in the stateless widgets?
Yes, it won't be included in the stateless widget. I am gonna implement a stateful widget. So basically, this is called stateless widget because everything here is gonna be static. It's not gonna change. Okay, but uh, I right now I am gonna implement a stateful widget which can change its like its values. So what I am gonna do is like click on stateless widget. Then I'm gonna what I okay so what I'm going to do is control shift and R. Okay, so control shift and R, all of this all of these key combinations are provided by the Flutter SDK. I don't have to I don't really have to configure them. And then it says convert to stateful widget, and I'm just going to click on here. Okay, so what stateful widget here does is it's like it has given me this class which is called home screen, which is like which extends stateful widget. And then it has given me this class which is called home screen state, extends state from home screen. Okay, let's just forget what is written here. Okay, I'm just gonna explain what this is. Okay, so what this the work of this class which I have highlighted here is what it does is it saves the state of the widget. It saves the state of the widget. That is all it does. Okay, it like there's a lot of like background work or like background compilation going down, like going like basically the background work going out there. Like when we compile the app, we don't have to really care about it right now because that is like that is gonna be a very long topic. But what the work of this widget or like basically the work of this class is to save the state of the screen. Okay, basically like during the life cycle, whatever happens to the screen, like it is going to save that. Okay, and here this like then there is this component of this of our code which is written here. I'm gonna close this. What this does is this basically implements whatever UI changes or like whatever is visible on the screen. Okay, what this does is whatever is visible on the screen, like as I told you, whatever we want to show on the screen should be under build function, right? So whatever we want to like show is right now under the build function, and it is gonna be like it is gonna be there. Okay, so let's just column basically call us basically give the like a lot like okay, let's not use column as of now. I don't think that will be great for you as of now. Let's just say okay, so let's write text and let's make a let's make a counter app. And what we can do here is, let's declare an integer called counter and make it to 0. Okay, and like basically initialize it to 0. And what we can do here is, uh, okay, so let's just do this. Okay, counter value 0. Okay, so what I basically did here is, inside the body I said, like inside the body I said, like, whatever is inside the body should be centered. So for that I wrote this line center, and like and I gave the child, like center's child, a widget called text. Okay, and inside text I gave it an input of this string, which is saying counter value, and like counter value and dollar counter. Okay, so I don't like, can anyone please tell me, like, why did I wrote this dollar and counter? Just take a wild guess. I know that you like Dart, you're not familiar with this language, but just take a wild guess out there. Anyone?
Is it for the variable? Like,
Yes, it is for the variable. So what I have basically done is, like, this is called string interpolation, which you have learnt about it in C, C++, Python, and like any program language. Okay, this is called string interpolation. What, like, see, basically whatever we want to we like basically whatever we want to uh, display in a string, basically a variable in a string. So we have to write a dollar in front of it, just to tell the compiler, okay, so this counter is a variable and this is not a part of a string. We like, if I remove this counter, it's gonna, the compiler or like the intelligence is gonna take it as a string, and I'm gonna save it. And like, as you can see in the screen, it looks like counter value counter. Okay, but since counter is not a string, I want to like, this is a variable, and just to let the compiler know that this is a variable, I'm gonna like give a so this is our so the value of the, okay, I'm gonna just put there is another address, floating action button. Okay, floating action button, I don't know, like once you see it, I think you are gonna recognize it. Okay, so I'm gonna give a floating action button, and then I'm gonna, okay, wait a minute, child. Okay, so I'm gonna give this floating action button a child, or or maybe I should elevated button. Okay, let's just not, like, should we hey Chen, should we use this, or like just a normal button here? Chen, are you there? Alapan?
why? I mean, is
I
there a
mean, just for
difference?
the, no, there is not a difference, but like I just, like, for the new viewers, I don't think like they will be like understanding this. So
I
that
think
is why.
this is fine because they'll understand the normal button.
Okay, so I think let's just remove this elevated button. Okay, so I'm gonna name this increment. Okay, and for any button, like, just like as I said, like this is elevated button, right? So for any, like, for not even elevated button, for any button, what we have to mention here is the on pressed function of it. Okay, like what does the button do when we tap on it? It is as simple. Okay, so I'm gonna do this on pressed, and then I'm gonna like create a function. Okay, for that, this is a non-named, like unnamed function. Okay, we don't really have to call any other function, or you know what we can do. What we can do here is, uh, we can name another function which is called increment. It is not gonna take any values. Okay, and then what it is gonna do, it is gonna set state. Okay, set state of the set the state of this counter value. Okay, so like of this counter value, what I'm going to do is, since as the function suggests I want to increment the value of it, what I'm going to do is counter plus plus and just this. Okay, and gonna mention it function called increment. Okay, and another floating action but center float. Okay, so let's just see how it looks on the okay increment or dot. Okay, let's not get into that. um I don't know if you can see it or not. If let me see that if I can change the background color of it. Decoration, I think I have to change the decoration. Okay, so I hope that you can see the button here, or like if I can change the elevation. No. Okay, like is anybody having
Yes.
a problem looking at the button? I hope you can see the button, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so what basically I did is, floating action button is basically like, it is basically like an attribute which tells that what to what kind of, like what to display here, like uh, basically an action button here on the bottom of the screen, like floating with floating attribute. So I think that most of you have seen this kind of button in different apps. Okay, so and what I did is, I gave it a child. Okay, so this child is basically saying what should the button display uh, if I write increment slash decrement. So that is going to be reflected on the UI. Okay, see, increment slash decrement. So whatever I give, whatever I write child, whatever text I write inside this is going to be implemented here, like, implemented on the button. I hope this child concept is clear to everyone. Is there any questions? Okay, I don't think there are. So and what I did is, like I mentioned that on pressed for any button, we have to tell the compiler that what does this button do when I press this button. For that, I created another function which is called this, which doesn't has a return type. It is of return type void. And what it does is, it sets the state of the counter. I will get to this like in a few minutes. I hope we still have time, Alapan.
Yeah. Yeah. We
Okay,
have.
okay. So what we are gonna do is, let's just test it. Okay, so let's hope that everything works out. And I'm gonna, okay, as you can see that the value of the counter variable, everyone can see it. Make it what size, make it, okay, let's make it 25. Okay, I hope now everyone can see this, and like I should implement the same in here also. I'm going to copy this and implement the same on the button also. Okay, so that I hope the button also increases. Okay, increment or decrement, I'm gonna
Yeah. Yeah.
remove decrement here. I hope everyone can see this right now. Okay,
Yes.
so as you saw, when I press this button, like the value of the counter changes. Okay, so like this much of the UI, or this much of the syntax was just to display the button. What special happened with this UI is this on pressed function. This on pressed function was given a pointer of this function called increment. Okay, I'm gonna click on this, and like like this increment function. Okay, so what special this increment function did is it said that okay, let's just set the state of this counter app as counter plus one. Okay, if anyone is having any problem with this, I'm gonna counter plus one. Okay, counter is equals to counter plus one, which is basically the same syntax as like as earlier. So this set state function basically set like setted the state of this counter variable from 0 to 1, and when I call this function again, it setted the state of the counter variable from 1 to 2. Okay, if I press this button again, it's gonna do the same. I can like I can make another function of it, or like maybe let's not make another function of it, let's just make it minus. Okay, minus, and then here let's make it decrement. Decrement. Okay, let's save it, and I hope everything works. And decrement is 2. Decrement is 2. Okay, so I hope like as you can see, the state of this value is changing. Okay, so this is not possible in stateless widgets because we don't want those stateless widgets to change. But there are a lot of components in a UI where the state of the UI changes. Okay, for that we need to wrap them inside a stateful class. Okay, so if anybody has any questions, like please feel free to ask. Any questions? Like I know the code looks a lot complicated, but any questions? Like I'm like
Maybe they'll type the questions. If they type, I'll let you know.
okay, sure. So another thing, like another thing, as I told you that each and every component on like in a Flutter app is a declarative UI type. So what, like as you can see, what I can see here right now is the padding between the button and the decrement text is very less right now. Okay, what I can do is let's cut it, and let's wrap it inside a padding, like uh, a padding widget. Like in this padding attribute, we have to give it a number. Okay, so like I don't know how many of you, I think you know what insets are, or like what edges are. So edge insets is uh, basically the edges, and like the distance between the widget and um, the edges of the button. Okay, so I'm gonna set edge insets dot all. Okay, or I can set edge insets dot only. I'm gonna set edge insets dot only so that you know what we are doing in here. Okay, I'm gonna make like refactor the code so you don't have any issues, like because of the brackets. And I'm gonna say, let's just say that the top margin should be 16, and the bottom margin should be 8, and the left margin should be, let's say, 8, and the right margin should be, or sorry, the right padding should be 8. Okay, so here I have like wrapped this widget with this like with padding, and I have to mention a child, and the child is of course our decrement text. Okay, save it and let's see what happens. As you can see, the I don't know okay, let's can any like I hope nobody is having a like problem like looking at this button. Like I hope you can distinguish between the screen and the button, or like you can look at the uh, changed padding in the text and the button. You all can see that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so it is just that easy. Just wrapping text with a padding thing, like with a padding widget, will change the padding of this. Like will change the padding of this button. Okay, it's just like HTML, like not like HTML, but like a lot of things are similar in here. A lot of like basically Dart is a mixture like JavaScript, and some of the was taken from CSS, and and also just to send to like wrap the required text with a center tag, right, in HTML. And you do the same thing in here also, like just to center something, you wrap it with a uh, you wrap it with the center widget. And like in HTML you used to wrap it with a tag, and that is it. And I think this is enough for now. I don't think that I should I don't think I should explain or go deeper than this. I think that will be a lot for the new viewers. If if there are any questions, just let me know. I hope that this increment function, like you are able to get what set state is doing. If there are any questions regarding set state, just let me know.
I guess no.
Okay, so I'm gonna change my screen. Okay, so as you have seen that Flutter is like multi-platform. Working with the UI is very easy, and like you just have to wrap like whatever you want to display, you just have to wrap it with padding, with center, or like stuff like that, just to make it just to make it more beautiful or something like that. Whatever you want, like just to get the required UI, just have to wrap things around it, and like it's just there. And you just got to know that what statelessness is, what statefulness is. Like for any app, there are like for Android, for normal native apps also, there is a component of statelessness and a component of statefulness. You got an introduction to that and stuff like that. So I think this should be enough for this should be enough for you to just get started with Flutter, or just like making apps with Flutter. Don't have to create a very complicated app. Just just a single screen, or just a dual screen app would be great for you right now. And and a bonus slide, what you like what I'm like what would I would like to let you know is that Flutter also supports multi-platform games. Like there are packages like Flame and Bonfire, which can help you build games. There are a lot of games right now available on Play Store, which are built on Flutter. Like one of the games is related to PUBG only, but uh, I don't know, like I don't play a lot of PUBG. Okay, so and there is a possibility it can you can build with it. You can uh, web apps with like mobile applications, embedded system. You can communicate with embedded systems with Flutter. So that makes it a a great option to multi-platform development kits, right? So all of these packages are open source. These are free to use. You don't have to pay for anything. I'm not really sure, but like there are some packages in React Native for them you have to pay. Like some developers do that. Like I don't blame them, but I think that most of the packages should be open source. That is just my opinion. uh, and I think that should be enough. And thank you for your time. If there are any questions, please do let me know. And thank you.
Thank you, Priyankshada. And it would be wonderful if you install your Flutter. Uh, we can use that plugins. Could you please repeat the plugins which you have used?
Okay, so I'm just gonna okay, so the plugins, right? So whatever I'm gonna present my screen again, so all of you can see it entire screen. I hope you can see it.
Yeah.
Okay, so whatever plugins that we use in our app can be found in this file called pubspec YAML. Okay, pubspec.yaml file. This is an auto-generated file, ठीक है? We don't really have to know that how this thing works, but what what we can understand from from YAML file is that the version of the app, okay, published to none. Like, we are not publishing the app right now because this is in development stages, of course. The name of the app, which I wrote earlier while creating the app, description of Flutter new project, of a new Flutter project. This is the environment or the version of Dart that we are using right now, the version of Flutter or the version of Dart we are using right now. Okay. And then there is dependencies. Okay. All of this is possible due to this, like this line, the Flutter SDK Flutter. So what it basically does is, like, we don't what it basically does is it imports the all of the packages that Flutter provides, and like perform other tasks. Okay. And then dependencies, dependent list of that are developed. There may be a lot of packages or a lot of plugins which a developer needs. Those has to be listed under here. And just this is the design part uses material design, which is true. Material design is like the Android design language. That is it. We have not imported any plugin. All of this, whatever I have shown you, is possible with vanilla Flutter standard development kit only. Are there any other questions?
I think uh, there will be a couple of questions as soon as they start. So
Sure.
you can also connect after the this session in the WhatsApp group, right?
Yes, sure. I will be more than happy to answer those questions. Or like, you can DM me also if you like. I think most of you have my number. Like, if you don't, like, just you can just like take it from the group, and just let me know if you have any questions or if you have any problems from with getting started with installation process also. Like, I will be very happy to help.
Yeah. Thank you, Priyanshuda, for this wonderful session. Thank you,
Thank
Chandra,
you.
for joining, and thank you everyone for joining this session. Hope we will take a session next week or so. We will inform you. So
Sure.
keep practicing and keep learning. Thank you.
Okay, bye everyone.
Bye bye.